right, we're on a roll. So, again, doing these videos to remind myself of essentially the goodness that has crossed my path, and remind myself of just positive things. And in turn, I'm hoping to, I don't know, be joyful even when there's hard times. Remember that, like, the climb might be treacherous in the moment, but it will end. Like you'll finally get to a vista, or you'll finally get to that lake, or you'll get to a pause in the difficulty. So yeah, hopefully this can serve later as an encouragement, and not just to me, but to other people. So one thing that I felt really proud of recently was turning down a job. Um, I've thought about getting into some kind of leadership position. And so I do really like the people I work with. Not just like, I love the people I work with. And we've been through a lot. We've worked together for a lot of years. But I do feel open to another opportunity professionally. And I don't feel ready to go back to school. I feel close to ready to go back to school. But I just kind of want to like dip my hands in leadership before doing that, before taking the plunge. And I'm inspired by some friends who are in leadership roles and haven't gone back to school yet that I know of. So, yeah. Anywho, I kept coming across this one scripture in Hebrews. It's on the fridge, but I don't remember exactly where it is. But it was just talking about like, don't keep your heart from the love of money. Be satisfied with what you have. So simple, but so helpful. And man, that scripture, like when I was praying about whether or not to take this job, just kept coming up. And I was like, what in the world is happening? But I'm really grateful it did, because I told my mom about the position, and I told David, of course, my husband. But I told my mom, and she was like, I'll just pray that God does whatever's best for your family. And I was like, I mean, yeah, okay, sure. But but yeah, it just got me thinking, like, okay, what will be best for my family? And I think sometimes they can think family is us plus kids. And then I have to remember, like, no, family is the two of you guys, me and David. And so I think with that, I was just thinking, okay, what is best for us? If I'm working a 40-hour plus job and then doing a 24-hour call, like, how does that help me in my relationship with my husband? How does that help me in my relationship with my friends? And how does that help me with my mental health in finding work-life balance? And and it's like, then with the wage, the thing I felt really proud of is I, chatted with a friend who works in HR, and I was like, hey, can you just give me some pointers on how to negotiate salary, because I've never done that. And she gave me some pointers. She gave me a guideline to look up. She was like, oh, look up the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It's public information. And then look at the specific occupation you're interested in. So I did that, got the median wage. And I know historically Missoula pays less than most states. But I was like, I'm just going to ask for it anyway. I reached out to my old director, and she was like, I would just go for it. I would definitely ask for this certain amount. And so I did. And so I ended up talking to one of the gals who was doing the hiring, and this was after the interview. So during the interview, I was really proud of myself for not just throwing out a number, but instead saying like, hey, can I get back to you? I'm just going to get more information about what would be appropriate, and then I'll let you know what my ask is. And so I chatted with a few folks, got some numbers, and then came back with those numbers. And it was just so cool, because both women were like, just ask. It's a lot, but ask for it. And, I know for like bigger city, people in bigger cities are probably like, that would be nothing. But, for Montana, you know, it was a lot in my mind. So, yeah, so I just felt so proud of myself for asking. And one of my friends was like, yeah, it's so disappointing, but like there's just a lot of women who ask for less or take less, um, than what they deserve. And so I think even though I didn't take the job for multiple reasons, work-life balance and just, feeling like it would be a threat to my mental health very easily. Um, yeah, I think I just left there, like left that experience being grateful that I asked for, the going rate and that I didn't take less because it was like, oh, like not rationalizing because it was so tempting to think about rationalizing like, well, I don't know as much as, I don't have as much experience as, you know, whatever. And so it was just great to like work through those doubts and work through those insecurities and ask anyway. And then I was really impressed when they were like, oh, so do you want the job? And it's like, oh, actually, I don't anymore. Because they're like, yeah, can we also talk you down, negotiate you down with your wage? And it's like, well, you guys are asking a lot of me, so no. At first I said I was going to negotiate down. And then I thought about it. It was like, no, I will not do that. And I think it also feels good to look for jobs and interview for different positions, but not feel desperate. It's like, I'm not desperate to get a new job. If I have an opportunity that comes by and that seems like it's a good fit, then yeah, I'll definitely be interested in trying it out. But I'm not desperate. And I think even too, so I'm going to reach out to another company soon and try to set up an interview. And if they've hired somebody else in the meantime, that's fine too. But I think it's really, I don't know, it's just really nice to interview and not have any desperation. But just say like,